One of the responding officers said it was like something from a horror movie. Another of the officers had to be treated for shock and later received grief counseling, all for what they had witnessed in that Pennsylvania home. This is the tragic and horrifying story of 27-year-old Elliot Sensman and his death by snake. Elliot was a unique man, and he should still be with his family, his mother later said. He had been working with snakes and was an expert pretty much his whole life. He rescued snakes. It was his hope that if he rescued these snakes, that they could be rehomed rather than be euthanized. And he specialized in working with aggressive snakes. But he had told his family that this one was more than a handful, so much so that he swore that he would never break the cardinal rule of working with the snake alone. That's why we have no idea what happened. His grandmother found him collapsed on the floor with the snake wrapped around his neck, lifeless. She screamed, called 911, tried to wrench and pull the snake off, as terrified as she was, but the snake would not budge. By the time the police had arrived, it was nearly too late. But one of the officers responding had a clear shot. The snake's head was just a short ways from his body. The room was a bloodbath, but the officer took his shot. The snake was hit, and it writhed, rolled off of his body, and shot for another room. One of the officers followed it there and watched it die, while the others tended to Elliot. The ambulance could now come in safely and move him, but he never regained consciousness. They didn't really investigate after the fact. They didn't ask about the species or any of its history. They didn't do much, to be honest. They'd never had any frame of reference for anything like this. But one thing was noted: the marks all over the man's face and head, from where the snake appeared to have tried to eat him before it had gave up and settled with just crushing the life from him. The snake that my friend and I are working with behind me is Goldie, a reticulated python that is registered as the world's second largest reticulated python, 26 feet, 7 inches long, and almost 400 pounds. We never go into her enclosure alone.